Hello and welcome to the garden for our week 12 full garden tour. I cannot believe it's been 12 weeks since I started doing garden tours and since I started planting, I guess. What? It's been 12 weeks? It does not feel like it's been 12 weeks. Everything out here is exploding. You can kind of see behind me. It's just a majestic place. I love it so much. I'm so excited to show you what I have going on out here. So let's get started. All right, so here is the ghost cherry that is up here by the gate. It doesn't look great. It has a couple tomatoes on it. This plant is probably going to be yanked out here pretty soon. It's just not doing super well and it's not really setting any more fruit. So this is probably nearing the end of its life. But if I come in here, I got hit in the face. This dill's doing pretty well. It's starting to grow up again. I just cut this back a couple weeks ago, like all the way down pretty much. And it's starting to make some new flowers, so that's exciting. And I mean, it's good because hopefully I'm going to be making some pickles and I'm going to need some dill. This is the Black Seaman tomato. And it actually looks pretty happy. This was completely knocked over last week by a storm we had. The stake I had it on just pretty much broke in half. There are some fruits on here that are ripening. I've had an issue with this plant having bugs in the fruit. I've had to throw away a couple tomatoes because they had bug holes in them, which is not fun, but it happens, I guess. And then here's our bush beans, and look at all these little baby beans. There's a couple more in this area, I think, that are starting to come up. I just put this mulch back yesterday because I hadn't put it back yet and I needed to. So the mulch is back now. These Royal Burgundy beans, I actually have been picking off of those. So I don't know, I was gonna just yank these up and replant, but I'm still picking off of them, so I don't know. I may just leave them, I'm not sure. There's even more zinnias bloomed. Like this one in particular is absolutely beautiful. It's like a bright reddish pink. All right, come down here and precariously walk down this path. Ugh, okay. Let's start with the peppers because these are like super happy and I'm like stoked about it. So this is the Craig's Grande jalapeno. I have 5 of these right here. I came out yesterday and picked probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 jalapenos off of here. These plants have quite a few on them. Like there's quite a few jalapenos. They were to the size where I like them, and so I picked a few yesterday. There's a few more on here I probably could have grabbed, but I didn't. Basically right now I'm just pickling them. I'm not doing salsa yet. I will freeze some to do salsa with later, which is, yeah, so like that one I probably could have picked, but I just left it. It'll be fine out here. Once they start doing, they will start doing like a little bit of cracking on the sides. That just means they're getting super ripe, and eventually they'll turn red, and that's what color they actually are. But we eat them when they're green. So once they start cracking, that's when you're like, oh, okay, I should pick you. So this one is not doing that yet, but I think it will probably in the next few days. But yeah, I am very happy with these plants and this variety. I will regrow this for sure. Over here, these are the pepperoncinis, and I picked some of these last night also, and again, I'm just pickling these. There are more on here, but they're not quite ready yet, so there'll be more to pick. Then up here, this is our cayenne plant right here. I picked one red one last night, which is exciting. There's, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 more on here. And these I will just cut up and freeze until I'm ready to make salsa with them. And then our Chocolate Beauty Belle has one down here that is starting to maybe kind of turn brown. So that's super fun. I'm super stoked about that. Now, if we come around here, we can kind of see it down in there. Maybe. This is the Keystone resistant giant bells, all of these plants. And look at this one down here. He's turning red. Hey, buddy. He's almost ready. His butt is still green, but he is turning red. There's peppers on all of these plants. Some are bigger than others, but they all have peppers on them. I'm so happy. And then this front plant is a weirdo. Like, look at this. Like, why are you that shape? This is the only plant that's this shape, but I don't know why. I don't know. They all look like this. They're all this weird long shape. Even the little baby ones are like weird and long. I don't know. I don't know why, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe it was a different seed. I don't know. They look really good. We've had a ton of rain in the last like week, probably like 4 inches of rain, and so some things are not looking as good, but these peppers actually look pretty decent. And I have a zucchini that came up. This is an Italian striped zucchini that I planted in here, I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks ago maybe, and I didn't think they were gonna come up. I was like, well, that didn't work out, but look, a baby zucchini. So that's super exciting. Okay, so let's start on tomatoes. This is the Costaludo, and I don't have any changing yet. They're still kind of small, but they are coming along. This is the Ghost Cherry. And this is just a monster. This is a monster plant. I love this plant, like a lot. The tomatoes are just huge. Like, this is not a cherry tomato. Like, this is massive. That's the biggest cherry tomato I've ever seen in my life. They taste good, but they're so big. This is the Carbon next to that. There are a few new tomatoes coming in on this, which is good because this very well may be my favorite tomato this year. It's that good. And then this is the Amish paste. There's a couple starting to turn red. And it has some more flowers up here at the top. So hopefully I'll get more because these are super meaty and they don't have a ton of seeds in them, which is awesome. These I'm just straight freezing and putting in the just using, I'm gonna use for sauce later or salsa or whatever. And they are cracking, but they are, I think they're worth it. I'm gonna grow these again next year for sure. Give this plant another try and maybe not freeze it before the season starts. And then here's our 2 Aunt Ruby's German greens. I have been picking these. I have I think 4 in the house right now. I'm gonna eat at least one of them today. This plant currently has nothing on it because they all ripened and they're all in the house. This plant, however, does have some stuff on it. This one has this huge tomato back here still. He is just massive. And then there's another one over here that is not as big, but is still very large. Perfect for tomato sandwiches. This is the large red cherry. There's one. Okay, anyway. These are the Kellogg's breakfast. Look at that. This baby is so close to being done. I'm thinking that maybe today I'll pick this. This is the most beautiful looking tomato I think I may have ever seen in my whole life. It's like, remember the crayon color macaroni and cheese? That's what it reminds me of. It's beautiful. And these plants are just, there's so many tomatoes on them. And they're all pretty decent size. So this is super exciting. I cannot wait to taste that. Okay, I gotta get around my scooter here. I moved it down here. This is the Chianti Rose. Well, okay. This is the Chianti Rose and the Thorburns, because this is a Thorburns branch, but then that back there are Chianti Rose tomatoes. I don't know, it's a whole thing. So both of these plants have tomatoes on them. There's a Thorburn starting to ripen up here, but look back there. This is the real money shot right here. Look at this. 2 Chianti Rose tomatoes starting to ripen. Actually, this one is probably almost ready, which is awesome. This is our triple crop plant, and I have some blushing back here. Now they're super cracked. All the rain we've had has really done a number on my tomatoes, but I think they're still gonna be delicious. I can't wait to taste one of these. And then our blonde girl cherry over here. It has set more tomatoes. I'm just waiting on them to ripen. And then our pink ox heart. Sad little plant. I did pick one of these. The one with the butt I picked. It's in the house ripening right now. This one is pretty much ready. It has a bad spot on it. So this one will probably just get, the whole top will get chopped off and it'll get frozen. This is the Brandywine Black. And these tomatoes are pretty good. I've eaten, I think, one of them. This one's pretty much ready. These crack really, really, really bad though. And then the pineapple monster. I picked a few of these yesterday. You can see there's basically no branches until you get up to here now, but there's tons of tomatoes, so that's fine. The Cherokee Purple's in here somewhere. I don't think it has any tomatoes on it though. There may be, I don't know. It's in this mess. This is the San Marzano. I know what this is. Those are probably almost ready. And then look at all these up here. And then this plant also goes like this. So, yeah, that's a lot. And I'm happy about it because these are perfect for sauce making. So these are my teddy bear sunflowers. Look how big these have gotten. I'm so excited about these. I love how they branch out. They're starting to get their little heads down in there. And these are the sunflowers that have like the real frilly heads, blooms. And they don't get super tall. So I think they're probably gonna grow a little bit more. Maybe another like 6 inches or so. But yeah, I'm super stoked for these. Like, this is gonna be a super nice, like, kind of fence right here. I really like the garden when it has stuff up here, stuff here, and then stuff here, because then I feel like I'm in my own little like room. You know what I mean? So speaking of the room, look at this. Majestic trellis. This is Kentucky Wonder pole beans, and they are starting to climb. They're doing the thing. They're doing it. This is a muncher cucumber. It's coming along. This is another muncher cucumber, and there's one right there. That's almost ready. Maybe tomorrow I'll pick that. This is the green dragon burpless, and there's one on here, but it looks a little weird. I have picked one off of this so far, which is fine. If I turn around here, here's our crimson sweet watermelon. Look at this baby. And one right there. And there's one right there. So I have 3 watermelons coming right now. And then down here, look at that. That's a little Minnesota midget cantaloupe. He's starting to get his webbing, which is exciting. And then this one over here is like a weird shape. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with him. This tub has some lettuce and some dill in it, and I actually came out yesterday and like thinned this out a little bit, the lettuce, and it looks pretty good. The dill looks happy, which is good. The lettuce is starting to come along, so yeah. And then our rattlesnake pole beans starting to look a tiny bit worse for wear. We got some little like spotting going on, but up here in the top, everything looks really happy. So I'm still picking beans. I pick beans every 2 or 3 days now instead of every day, which is fine. And then this is the purple potted pole beans. And these plants are just like monsters. They are awesome. So that's gonna about do it for our week 12 full garden tour. Week 12. I am steadily picking tomatoes, getting those in the freezer, or just eating them, or giving them away. I need to get some more in the freezer though to process later. I'm picking some peppers, and the beans are still coming in strong. More beans are coming in behind them. So things are definitely very exciting around here. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.